Now, the case of Bethlehem, the case of Nazareth, raises the question of to what degree, ultimately, are we speaking about holy sites? To what degree are we speaking about secular sites? To what degree are we speaking about sites of religious significance? Or to what degree are we speaking about sites of national significance? Can we separate the two? Now, obviously, we can speak of sites that are sacred or have a certain sacrality to them from the perspective of, in the context of a particular religious tradition, and then sites that do not have such a status. A site like Tel Hai has no long-term significance for Jewish history from a religious perspective, but it did take on a tremendous importance for Zionist culture and, by extension, Jewish culture from a national perspective. But national sites take on the aura of sacrality. We're familiar with the term civic religion, and we have it very prominently in America. Sites like the Statue of Liberty or the Lincoln Memorial are, in Washington, D.C., are emblems of our American sacrality, of our American civic religion, in the way that Tel Hai is emblematic of Israel's Jewish Israel's civic religion, one could say. And indeed, an important Zionist writer, shortly after the events of Tel Hai, the Battle of Tel Hai 1920, exulted that now Zionism finally had a new holy place, a site that could be a site of pilgrimage and enduring commemoration. So there's a definite sense in which these sites, sites that holy sites take on a national significance, and national sites take on the aura of sacrality or become holy sites. And this is definitely this interplay between the national and the religious, between civic religion and traditional revealed religion, is definitely one of the themes that we would like, that I hope we'll explore in this course. Another great example of this kind of situation concerns, I think, really a particularly fascinating site, and a site that is frequently forgotten, and that is the maqam, or the shrine of Nebi Musa, Arabic for the prophet Moses. This is a shrine that claims, according to long-standing Arab tradition, is the site of Moses' tomb. And this shrine is located south of Jericho in the Judean desert, so southeast of Jerusalem. And in going back to the Middle Ages, was a site of annual Muslim pilgrimage, and particularly in the early 20th century, really achieved its peak in terms of its importance as a site of pilgrimage. And this was an annual pilgrimage that actually corresponded to Holy Week on the Christian calendar. So in a way, it was intended from the get-go to offer a kind of Muslim counterpart to the celebrations surrounding Easter. And fascinating also to think of it revolving around the figure of Moses, who, of course, according to the Hebrew Bible, was not privileged to enter into the Holy Land, whereas this shrine is in fact located west of the Jordan River and therefore in the land. But it's fascinating to think of, in the pilgrimage to Nebi Musa, to the shrine of Nebi Musa in the 20s and 30s in particular, played a critical role in the emergence of Palestinian nationalism. In traditional Palestine, there had been many such sites of pilgrimage, which tended to be sites of regional pilgrimage. Nebi Musa, in a way, transcended that and became a site of Palestine-wide pilgrimage for Palestinians, again in the 20s and 30s, and was exploited by political leadership to, in a way, foster a national Palestinian identity. Fascinating to think of the figure of Moses performing in his death, so to speak, dealing with his gravesite, in a way the same role for Palestinian identity, national identity, that he played for Israelite or Jewish national identity in his lifetime, as reported in the Bible. That is to say, Moses as critical in the formation of national identity. Here's a great example of how a religious site became actually a critical national